here we are, and there she is. We have here our Bubba cheesecake. It's been growing for just 4 weeks. It's got a really good stalk structure to it. We transplanted it after week 3 of the growth cycle, or after we actually planted the seed, not even from germination. So week 3 was a transplant. Now we're on week 4, and typically by week 4 we have 5 nodes up, but now we have 6 nodes already, with a 7th one forming here. So we're, you could say, 1 node past the point. However, it's not all bad news. The only difference here is that from the bud trainer method, when we typically top it above the 5th node and remove the 1st node, leaving from nodes 2, 3, 4, and 5, that's 8 total branches you get. What we're going to do here, when you have more than 5 already, is we're going to top. Again, you don't want to remove too much leaf material or too much plant material when you top. Some people will top their plants right in the middle of the stem, and then they cut a really thick part of the stem, and that's very, very stressful for the plant. It takes a while for the plant to recover. So what we're going to do here is remove the top maximum 1 inch of the plant, which is really just above these top 2 little nodes here. It's hard to see from the camera that far, but what we have here are 2 small nodes and a top that is not even half an inch tall. So I'm going to cut this top here. Now I can show it to you so that you see how much we're removing here. So it's really just, in terms of like the height of the plant, it's just 1 inch. It's a tiny little bit. I couldn't have taken the top above that, because then it would be too small and I would be cutting into the small little offshoots, right? So this was the smallest top I could take, which is not super stressful for the plant. However, I am now left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nodes. If I leave all these 6 nodes here, I'm going to get 12 branches in total, some of which are going to be very small, especially toward the bottom here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove the 1st node, which has a tiny little leaf here and the smallest little growth site. I'm going to do the same thing with the other shoot on the other side, which has a slightly larger offshoot, but still very small in the leaf. So we remove those. Now this is where we typically stop with a bud trainer method when we're topping above the 5th node, but we still have 5 nodes left and 10 branches. So what we're going to do is, instead of topping it more on or removing more from the top, we're going to remove more from the bottom, because the top branches are always going to be stronger. They have more hormones for growth. So I'm going to come here and remove the 2nd node as well, which has the triple fin leaves and a slightly bigger offshoot. Still small. It's very shaded, as you can see at the bottom here. So it's actually not a bad thing that we're removing the 2nd node. So now there we go. The 3 leaflet leaf and the small little offshoot. So now we're topping here, guys. It's pretty much done. It is the quickest part of the process. It takes no time. All you're doing is cutting a small part of the plant. And what we were left with now is 4 nodes with 8 branches in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the beautiful thing about the splint here, I can see already, is that all of these branches are equal to their pairs. If you get branches where one pair is much smaller than its opposite, that means that the larger one is always going to grow much stronger. The opposite is going to stay dwarfed. So you have to go and remove that small one. However, we got lucky here because we didn't have to remove any of them. They all have the same size. In fact, when you have extra nodes and you end up having a dwarf, you might as well leave a few extra nodes so that you can go and remove the dwarfs from those, so that you have in total 8 branches to grow out like we do here. Now this splint is going to stop growing in height. It's going to grow on its sides, and then we're going to tie these branches to the bud box and using the bud clips before that to get them in shape. So we will bring the splint back next week, at which point hopefully we're going to be able to train it with the bud clips at the top here. That's it for today's grow along.